make a great comeback.
Oh, it's a huge
You
shot.
see how it's long, Mr. Wasigiri. And he almost...
Oh!
Fellas and fellaritas, children of all ages, I fight this week. I'm super excited. You can watch me on Fight TV. It's going to be fantastic. Now on to the main focus of this cast. Karate Combat. I watched my first Karate Combat event this last weekend. Freaking incredible. I can't believe I've never seen it before. It is so much fun. So let me give you a brief breakdown of what Karate Combat is. It's in a pit, which is wonderful. I don't like watching fights in a cage. I understand cages are wonderful and I prefer fighting in a cage. Watching, I much prefer a ring. Rings are great. I can see a lot more. It's easier to focus on it, harder to fight in, but I enjoy fighting in a ring. This pit, I want to fight in a pit so bad. I mean, this reminds me of like the kumate. And every time you say kumate, you have to say it like that, drop the bass. It's incredible. You drop down into this pit, and you fight in it. The slanted walls, so you're not trapped, but you're not allowed to escape. You can jump off the walls. You can kick and punch if you're on the wall. It's really intense. Now, the big difference between it and MMA is there's very little wrestling. I am allowed to ground and pound. So I'll get in there. If I get a takedown, a trip, or whatever, as long as I'm standing over him, I have 5 seconds to beat the brakes off him. If I'm connected to him on the ground, I'm not allowed to hit him anymore. Love it. No elbows. Also love it. I've never been a fan of elbows. They don't knock people out. I mean, they will, of course. But they're more for cutting, and cut's never going to stop a fight. So I love that. The speed. I'm trying to run through in my mind everything that goes into this. It's like point sparring. So y'all think of point sparring and everyone says, oh, point sparring, you're not even allowed to hit. Remember, it was the last Olympics, the gold medal match for Taekwondo. The guy landed this beautiful kick, was not too powerful, hit the right spot, knocked the other guy out. He thought he won. They took first place from him. They said he kicked too hard. Not the case in Karate Combat. Karate Combat, you kick as hard as you want. The entire goal is to knock the other guy out. And it's quick. Now, you get into MMA, and it's a lot more. You have to worry about the takedown. You have a lot more pieces of the puzzle that you have to worry about. So you can't just unleash with your hands, because you get taken down, you get dumped, you get submitted. Karate Combat, you don't really have that to worry about. You just get to demonstrate how good you are standing. The twirls, the kicks, the amount of athleticism going into these stand-up fights is just it impressed me. I wasn't expecting it to be that cool, but it sucked me in. Like, between every commercial break, I was on my feet playing with whatever adult wanted to play. Oh, we're fake karateing because it's what we're gonna do on a party. I was at a party with my friends, we'd be fighting. I was at my party with some people that might be friends, so we couldn't quite fight. But between every fight, I was on my feet saying, "Oh my God, did you see that kick? Did you see this?" Oh, in the UFC, there have been a couple very successful karate-based fighters. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is there, Anthony Pettis, Lyoto Machida. There have been some really good ones. But most of the fighters or wrestlers or Muay Thai, or they're a different style. Different style. Here, you get to see the athleticism, the quickness, the speed. There's nothing faster than karate and taekwondo. Muay Thai doesn't stand a chance as far as speed is concerned. Power, maybe. Speed, no. And so these Karate Combat guys, they're out there, they're setting everything up. And then out of nowhere, these lead leg head kicks. You don't see those. Muay Thai has always been, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Muay Thai is, you kind of stand in front of each other, walk each other, whoom, whoom, punch, punch, whoom, and you throw those big kicks, a lot of power, but there's not much movement to it. These Taekwondo and karate fighters, everything is an angle. You are never going forward. It's off to the side and then coming high. It was so much fun to watch. As I tuned in, I was at a soccer party with my kids' coaches team. I found it on my phone. He found a way to put it up on the TV. I just started watching it. It was actually wonderful. I enjoyed the party. I enjoyed everyone at the party, but I started watching this and I just tuned out everything. Coach's kid came and sat by me. Coach's kid's little brother came, sat by me. Coach sat by me. Assistant coach. We were all just watching this. it was intense. And then they kept asking me questions. Why would he do this? Why would he do that? I said, to be completely honest, I don't know that style. I'm not exactly sure, but it worked. That you can get that foot up there, boom, stop it right before you hit him in the head and then pull it back if you wanted to, or you just go all the way through. It's a level of control I don't have. Karate Combat, it started in April of 2018, so it's been around for 5 or 6 years now, getting close to 6 years. I suppose it's just past 5 years. Anyways, Karate Combat's been around for a few years. It's growing. It had a CGI background. There's like Star Wars land. It was like Coruscant in the background, which was kind of cool. Then they had the pit, which the Kumite was right there in the pit. And then the walkout. It had just enough of that WWE feel to it. There was actually a fight in the crowd between one of the fights. Like it was a foreign fella who was fighting American. The foreign fella's crowd was getting into it, and that the Americans' corner did not like it. There was a fight. They put personality behind it, and that is something I think the UFC lacks. I think that's something that makes bare knuckle boxing has figured out how to do, where they just envelop that WWE and give the fighters some personality. Bare knuckle boxing might go a little too far. Might take it just a hint too far. This Karate Combat, it was lighting people up. It was really highlighting their skill set and their personality. Before the fight ever started, you kind of get to know the opponents. You get to know who you're going to root for and why. It was so much fun getting to know Raymond Daniels. I've sparred with him once or twice. He is the most impressive striker I've ever worked with. He does stuff that I will never be able to do, and hopefully I just never get hit with. He fought. He's actually the reason I started watching. I started following along on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and all that a while back. But he was fighting. He said, I'm going to watch my buddy fight. And I just happened to remember. So I tuned it on, and I was just enveloped. The first fight was a light heavyweight fight. I said, oh, my God, they're my size. And I was watching, I could beat that. Ooh, I don't know if I could stop that. Ooh, I wonder how boxing would do in something like this. Because I have some karate in my background, but boxing has been my primary style in the UFC. I would love to get in there and showcase my martial art, my martial art prowess against these guys. Because I know I'm not as quick, but I've got other attributes that would make it happen. But it was just the pure striking style with the threat of, if I get the takedown, the ground and pound. I get that 5 seconds to do what I want as hard as I want. No jujitsu. I have nothing to worry about. I can just unleash. That was the coolest part of the whole thing, is the fighters, they just unleashed when it hit the ground. They had nothing to worry about, and it was such an adrenaline rush. Bas Rutten, he is involved in this. He was the announcer. I don't know if you guys know Bas Rutten. He's an old school fighter. He actually was long done before I ever started fighting, but at this point, I've met him a couple times, hung around the same circles. The guy's hilarious. He's just a personality. I mean, he is a good dude to be around. So Bas Rutten's in there, and he's running his mouth the whole time. George St. Pierre was the guest host this time. George is a lot of fun. He's got that very quiet, Canadian, thank you very much. That wasn't a Canadian accent. I don't know. About that. No, he's got that French accent to him. And so he's just soft-spoken, kind of throwing in his wisdom, which he's got a lot of. I mean, greatest of all time, Mr. GSP is. And it just enveloped me. Now, I want to run you through some of the styles that we got to see. We saw Kyokushin karate. We saw Shotokan. That's a fun one to say. I can't tell you all the differences between the styles, but I'm going to start learning. American karate, always been a fan of it. No leg kicks, all upper body stuff. Real quick, guys. Shoto Ryu, Taekwondo. There were some Taekwondo guys. Taekwondo is so much fun because it's all speed. Fast, fast, fast. Hit those angles. Come up top, come down low. The pit, the 3-minute rounds. Title fights go up to 5 3-minute rounds. And it was too much fun. I enjoyed every second of it. I highly recommend you all go back and watch. I'm going to put a couple highlights on here. And hopefully, I've already started reaching out to him. I want to fight for him. I want to be part of that. I want to see this explode because it was so much fun. This Combat Karate has made a fan of me. I'm not going to miss anything. I'm going to program my phone on it. It was free on YouTube even to watch. Check out their Karate Combat on YouTube. It had everything you need to know. They have got that. Now, the one downside to it is they have this betting app. And I can't figure out how to use this betting app. It was a big part of what they're doing, too. They're letting you see behind the scenes. You can pick your fighters. There are points involved. I have no idea what I'm doing with it. I'm old. I got to figure it out. I'm going to keep playing with it. But I had a ton of fun watching other people play it. or see the scrolls. Oh, this guy won this guy won that. It's great. Loved all that. Uh, and I'm not sure when the next one is. I assume they're going to do once a month. It's based in New York. It has been a ton of fun to watch, and I am addicted. I don't want to say anything's past MMA in my eyes, but man, this made a strong case for it. I am a huge fan of this. So tune in, Karate Combat. You tag them. Tell everyone at Karate, I want in. I want a part of that. I want to see how my karate background, my karate style, my traditional martial arts handle that faster pace. Because I know I'm more of a tank fighter than I am a speed fighter. But I'd be willing to adapt. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Love you all, fellas and fellers. You're amazing. I fight this weekend, Fight TV. You can watch me at Fubo. I'm also going to be on B2FS, B2 Fighting Series, where I'm fighting. Tune in, give me some love, and send me the good vibes because it's going to be a good weekend.